Welcome to another episode of Savagetimetv. I'm your host, AB Brizzly, and with me I got special guest Raymar Wescott with me today. How you feeling?
I'm blessed, brother. Blessed.
Feel it,
Yeah,
feel it, man. We all made it out of this pandemic. You know, we all doing good. Damn, I kicked the monitor. My fault, bro. My fault. But getting started, man. For the people that don't know, can you tell them where you're from?
Yeah, man. I'm from Delaware. I'm from all over. Like the first 9 years of my life, I was out there. And then Newark for a couple years, then it was in Wilmington, but I was always back and forth.
Okay, you was always above the bridge,
yeah,
though.
Always
so,
above the bridge.
Yeah, you always been above the bridge, though.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to us. Shout out to us.
Absolutely.
Can you tell people how it is growing up here in Delaware?
Yo, listen, man. It's beautiful. I love it. Y'all been a lot of places in the world, like West Coast and like some islands and things like that. And like it's really no place like home. Like Delaware is a great balance. Like it's not too fast paced and it's not too slow. Or at least up, up top.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's not too, you know what I'm saying? I've been in I don't want to live in New York. It's too busy.
Right.
California too busy. You know what I'm saying? Houston too busy. I don't want to.
You think Houston too busy?
It's too busy.
Okay.
It's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much going on. You know what I'm saying? Like Delaware is perfect. It's home, man. And on top of me growing up here, like my family, like a majority of my family grew up. I got 7 brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh, okay. Dang, y'all needed Delaware space.
A whole tribe of Wescotts. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all needed that Delaware space.
You know what I'm saying? So I dig it, man. Delaware is beautiful, man. I think it's a perfect place to set your roots in. Go see the world, but you always come back home.
Delaware's definitely got that home base feel.
Yeah,
I always tell people like, man, get out because Delaware can be a little. Even though I think the whole Northeast region itself, when you grow up out here, we're a little closed-minded.
Yeah, closed-minded.
Because everything, for the most part, until just like recently, everybody came and wanted to go to New York.
Yeah, all that.
Because everything came here and matriculated down.
Yeah, you're right.
So now I think I try to tell people just branch out. I've traveled a lot, so I always tell people like just branch out. Go. Delaware not going nowhere.
Yeah,
definitely if you're from Delaware, you know that bro, all you gotta do is go down Dover, Smyrna,
anything.
Like it's always gonna be a place where you can come back and get a spot.
Yeah, I think it's, you know what, I really think it's mental. Like I think people who lived in California their whole life probably want to get out of California. I think people who lived in Florida their whole life want to get out of Florida. Like I think it's really a mental thing. Like people be putting these excuses on things and just try to blame it. Man, Delaware is small. It is small, but
it is. But if you was in Miami, you'd be doing the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you know what I'm saying. People always they never want to take accountability for a lot of stuff that happened in their life, and that's one of the biggest ones. Man, I've been preaching stuff.
People be scared for real.
Yeah,
it's hard to leave your friends, your family.
Man. And I understand it. I get it, but just say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that.
Instead of saying Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware, man, it's small. You nothing to do out here. Look, I lived out here my whole life. I'm probably one of the most exciting dog. I enjoy Delaware. I enjoy it.
It is what you make it.
It really is. It is what you make it.
Because we do got everything surrounding us.
Yeah,
New York,
for real.
Philly, DC,
and it's all
Virginia.
close. Less than 2 hours. Everything like less than 2 hours.
Yeah, and then you'll go somewhere like you'll go out and be somewhere like Las Vegas. Like you go to these other places where the states are really actually big. It's like, bro, all right, you go 2 hours south, you ain't going to nothing.
Dog, I just went to Colorado a couple weeks ago.
I seen that.
I got to the airport. My cousin picked me up. It was a 2-hour ride to her crib. I'm just like, dang, like this took away from my vacation.
That's another thing I do appreciate about Delaware. Philadelphia Airport, 45 minutes. And if you go to DC Airport, and if you really want to, hit JFK. All within really about 2 hours.
Yeah, for real.
But the pandemic has been crazy for the last year and a half.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us how that's affected you personally, professionally?
It isolated me.
Okay.
Like, and I was already kind of isolated anyway, but it just isolated me. I guess the way I needed. I started therapy. So what? 2000. It happened 2020, right? So I started therapy towards.
2000 really happened.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like okay, it hit 2020.
Yeah,
2019 we started getting the.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember like Marchish of 2020. I think stuff started to like slow down. They started to stop stuff, and I started therapy a little shortly after that. So I was going into isolation of healing anyway. So with that, like with the job, like working from home and everything, man, I totally capitalized off of it. Like, and for me, it was you watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Remember when Goku be in the chamber healing? That's all it felt like to me. I feel like
I'm just chilling.
Yo, that's all it felt. You know what I'm saying? Like my bills were straight. You know, I ain't have to worry about that too much. And then like my purpose was just on the front of my mind. But healing is something I'm an advocate for. I speak on it all the time. I've been speaking on it for as long as I can possibly remember, like 10, 15 years, probably more than that. So like that's all I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah.
Okay. I see that you're involved in a lot of different things. I saw like you describe yourself by a lot of different monikers. One thing I did see that looked like it was that could gel it all together was artistic expression.
Yes.
Could you tell me about like what artistic expression means to you and how you like to express yourself artistically?
It really is subjective. Like, but I think one word that associates with it is freedom. Like how you decide to express yourself. You dig what I'm saying? It could be clothes, it could be tattoo. I don't have tattoos, but I express myself mainly with my words and in the way that I live my life. I'm a creative being, meaning if I just made like a music. If I want to make music, I make music. I write poetry. I got an event coming up on the 24th. It's an open mic. I'm performing a poem. You know what I'm saying? I'm a motivational speaker. I go places, I speak, and I uplift people. So I think all of that is just an artistic expression of how I feel, a reflection of my life and like how I feel like on the inside. So I think once you really get to know yourself, it's easier for you to step into a light like that.
Right.
And then that's what I'm telling you, I was like 12, like 13, like talking to girls and stuff and asking them these deep ass questions like, yo, so who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like,
you know what's crazy? It reminds me of my boy. Shout out to my boy Stephon Barry, man. He always says that. He always used to be like, bro, it's like I be like talking. It's hard for me to talk to people, not because I don't know how to talk to people, but I be asking real in-depth questions. Like, and I just met you. Like, I'm the type be like that.
The same way.
Be like, yo, so, like, what do you see yourself like? What's your purpose?
Yo, I swear, yo, I be saying the same thing. The same, like, yo, imagine a 13-year-old just asking a girl like, yo, who are you? And she be like, what you mean? I'm like, well, like when you by yourself, who are you? Like, you know what? I'm independent, and I'm not. No, hold on for a second. Like, something in life made you independent. Like, who are you when you at home by yourself and you don't have to do anything else? Right. Like, who are you? And they like...
That's a question that stumps a lot of people.
Yeah, it's still to this day. So imagine me 13, 14, 15, 16 trying to have these conversations and I was never able to have the conversations. So I was always an advocate for allowing people just to get to know yourself, man. You really have to know yourself. That's
true.
The key
I
to
think that's
everything.
something that we all suffer with, especially in our community. Like,
absolutely.
Is independence, not in the way of being able to pay my own bills, but independence as in like the way of thinking. Like I always ask people, especially, of course I ask women a lot, I'll be like, yo, so like, what's your hobby? Like, I know, okay, you like to go out. That's something that, we're social beings. So of course, most people like to go out. Most people like to be out. I'm talking about, what could you do for free by yourself that would literally make you happy? And then most people, you ask 10 people, 7 of them are just going to be like, either they don't got the time to even express or get. I'm like you realize you're on autopilot right now.
Yeah, for real.
Like what's up? Like you kind of almost brain dead.
Yeah, most people. I swear.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to this girl like a few years ago, and I asked her, I was like, so what you like? Same thing you just asked. What you like to do in your spare time? She's like, I go out with my friends. I said, okay, what about outside of that? I don't know. Like I go shopping, or like sometimes me and my friends like we go on vacation. I'm like, okay. I said, so like when your friends aren't available, when you're in the house and you have nothing to do, like what do you do? He was like, I don't know. I look for something to do. I was like, okay, well.
It's wild. It's like you don't got no hobbies.
Yeah,
no nothing.
Man,
what's going on? Like, and the cell phones and social media not making it any
definitely.
better,
Nothing but big distraction.
Yeah. So with you being a motivational speaker, orator, it makes me want to ask, it sounds like you were never really nervous to talk in front of big crowds at all. So
never.
So it's never been an issue.
No.
You have never had it. That's you know what? At least you know, and you stepped into it.
Yeah.
Public speaking, I think, is like the number one fear in the world.
Yeah, I can see why. And that's the thing though. Like being that I'm like evolved spiritually, like I still feel the human side of things. So even when I do have to speak in front of a big crowd, I feel like you get warm, you get hot, like
you're like, oh,
I still feel it, but it's not about to stop me from doing what I'm about to do.
Right.
Like I still have to do this because I have something to say. I have it's a reason why I'm here, so I get to that. I remember I was in like first, second grade. The little poem, roses are red, violets are blue.
Right.
My shit used to be long. The sun is yellow. Like I used to go all this.
The grass is green.
You know what I'm saying? It's all beautiful. It comes together like all this,
Word.
and I would get up and you know what I'm saying. Like so, I was like most people in life. We try to get in tune with ourselves. We're trying to get in touch. We're searching for ourselves. Mine was the opposite way. It felt like I always knew who I was. Just like what you just said, I just had to step into it.
Right.
And then sometimes the nigga was playing, you know what I'm saying? I'd be outside playing. I'd be like, God, just give me like 5 more minutes. Like I'm enjoying myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much using my purpose because it's a light. So people drawn to the light.
Yeah, of course. So of course, there's the, the temptations.
Exactly.
And,
so I'm like, all right, God, I hear you. I got you. I'm coming. Just 5 more minutes. And you know what I'm saying? God patient. I'm like, all right. go ahead, you take your time, brother. I'm gonna be right here waiting for you. Right? When you gonna need me in a second, I'm gonna be right here waiting for you. Look, I have this. It's this. I have a very like in-depth mind. So like in certain parts of my life, I have like I associate like a moving painting with it, right? So I imagine like a mobile home, right? It's moving, and I'm like a kid, like, but I'm on a leash, right? I'm on a leash, and it's toys outside the mobile home. So I can play with but the mobile home is always moving to the direction that it's supposed to be moving, which is my spirit. The mobile home represents my spirit.
Right.
Always moving. So me physically, I'm out here playing with these toys, but eventually,
mobile home.
Eventually I have to let these joints go. I'm like,
can't miss it.
All right, well I gotta go now. Like, and that's what it was like. I'm like, got 5 more minutes, but my spirit is still pulling me this way. You dig what I'm saying? I felt ever since I was little, I always felt it. So yeah, it's really dope, man.
Okay,
it's really dope.
And when did you start getting into the music with it?
Oh, all my life. Old spirit. I got old spirit. I'm probably like 76 for real.
Okay.
Like, yeah, old spirit. I mean, I even till today, I still listen to music from like 1950s.
I was listening to Human Nature last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's beautiful.
I said, man, it's
timeless. Like all the way up until today. Like I love, because it's an artistic expression. And then what I study history. So like when I was in school and stuff like that, I read more books outside of school than I did in school. Like I love history. Like, so like, I just like how the culture, I look at the 1950s or the 60s, like how the culture affected the music compared to today. Like, of course, there's a lot more like distractions and things.
We got the blues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And look, I love it because when I was younger, I would feel the music, but I never experienced it.
I just got put on to not put onto it, but just getting older as a man. The blues, man. The blues. You mess around on the night. Mess around, you be like,
yo, the thrill is gone. Like, yo, it's just like
feeling it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, blues, you really feel it.
Feel it. Like, no matter what
it's
you're
almost
talking
scary.
about.
Almost.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's unknown.
Yes, exactly. Especially,
I never had music make me feel like this.
No, I'm telling you, man. Because look, realistically, we all are empaths. Just some of us are more in tune with it than we are. Like, we all feel emotion. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, imagine being a kid and I'm listening to all this music. I know it word for word. And I'm like, damn, I'm listening to Teddy Pendergrass and I'm sad now because he can't get over. I'm like, dang, what is this? Like, I mean, I've always loved music. Always. All kinds of music, too. It's not just limited. You know what I'm saying? I love all kinds of music, man.
Yeah. I just realized that sometimes you should put on jazz when enjoying yourself some marijuana.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've always had some smoking music, and then somebody was like, "Yo, you ever try smoking with jazz?" I said, "I never thought of that." I was like, "Oh,
yeah, it's
different."
Yeah, I remember I had started meditating to jazz, and
see that I can see that too.
It's so dope.
It's very calming.
Yeah, it is, man. It really is.
It can be super loud, but so calming.
Yeah, for real. It's like both.
Which is wild.
Yeah, and that's probably why I associate with it. I feel like I'm like the same way. Energy wise, I feel like it. So it's really dope, man.
Okay. I saw some things I was just like, I need to know what his definition of these are.
Come on, lay it on me, dog.
Light carrier. Well, I need to know, what is that?
Oh man, absolutely. So I feel like part of my purpose, right? I feel like everybody has more than one purpose, but my main purpose is to use the light that I have inside of me to bring it out of other people. You dig? So like if we going through a tunnel, it's dark in the tunnel. Most people, I know you heard the metaphor, like look towards the end of the tunnel or whatever, right? You don't have to, the light is already inside you. You can light the whole tunnel up. Just like this light is light, you can light up the whole tunnel. So it seems like you're in the dark because we've been taught our whole life that everything that we need or everything that we pray to is outside of us. And it's really inside of us. So like when I say light carrier, that's what I mean. Like I got another moving painting. Like when I moved into Wilmington for good, I moved over East Side. Loved it, man. Great times. But of course, you know how the hood can be sometimes. And losing a lot of friends, just a lot of darkness and things like that. And I see myself in this painting, like I'm in the middle of the painting. Like it's a light around me. Somebody comes and shake my hand, and then the person where he goes, his hand is still lit up, and he go touch somebody else. Then the person's shoulder is lit up, and then that person go, you know what I'm saying? So the light itself spread like throughout like the darkness or whatever. So like, yeah, light carries definitely.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So like, and then like just being in an environment like that, like, and just coming out of it still positive and not being affected by a lot of the negativity that was around me at the time. So, cause it was right in your face, drugs, violence, all that, man. It's all like, I mean, you walk outside and like, it's just literally like right in your face. So, yeah.
Okay. Spiritual being. I know. I know what people say whenever I know what you mean by that. But I'll say this: there's a lot of people that be saying like they be on this spiritual type, putting this out, saying certain things on the gram.
Yep.
I'd be like, some of y'all be a little wishy-washy. I think y'all are trying to hop on the wave,
like it's a wave.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So could you tell me what what you mean when you say you describe yourself as a spiritual being?
Look, what did Jesus follow when he was here? He didn't have a Bible.
Yeah, it was.
What did he follow? He only had his spirit.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that I'm in tune with. Like nothing else comes from that. Like you dig what I'm saying? Like it's all about the spirit. It's totally a connection to God. So when I say that I'm a spiritual being, like when I walk into a room where I speak to somebody, like everywhere I go is filled with nothing but positivity. I feel like I don't have nothing but protons in me. Like that's what I feel like all the time. Like no matter where I go, like I go to the grocery store, an old woman is telling me like how she loves my energy or something like that. Are you a blessed individual? I'm like, lady, you don't know me. I don't say it, of course, because I'm more respectful to that. I'm like, you don't know me, but it's the light that we were just referring to that's connected to my spirit. You know what I'm saying? When I say I'm a spiritual being, like that's why I'm so at peace, because I understand the spiritual side, which is more important than any other sides. You know what I'm saying? So if you stay in tune with your spirit, everything else is gonna follow. You dig what I'm saying? So
okay. And you saying, philosopher, way with words, orders. Can you tell me some people that influenced you or that you look up to for guidance when it comes to that type of thing, using your voice?
Yeah, that's really dope. Okay, well first, definitely Malcolm X.
Shout out to Malcolm.
Definitely shout out to Malcolm. And of course they taught us about Malcolm, but it was a lot more than that.
They didn't really.
Yeah, they didn't.
You have to definitely as black men, we have to really learn about Malcolm. It's something you have to choose.
You have to choose. That's what I'm saying.
You have to choose because even like for example his birthday, people really don't even it's not. Like you really have to look for
it. You really do. And they don't tell us the whole story. It was so much more to Malcolm, so much more that he was going through, like to get to where he was, like and where he evolved from and things like that. And same thing with Martin. There was so much more to him than what he was going through. But them two mainly. But I really think that you had mentioned James Baldwin earlier, and I remember.
Man, shout out to James, man.
When I was younger, right? I am not your Negro. Like when I'm talking like 6th, 7th grade. Like I really dove into books. Like I started going to libraries.
So you was on that way.
Yo,
6th grade.
Yo.
Yeah, they had you in the principal.
Yo, straight up. Look, I remember when I first learned about slavery, right? This was like elementary school where we were starting to talk about it. I could not wrap my head. I'm like, what do you mean that we were slaves and stuff like that? So I was badgering the teacher, but I was really asking legitimate questions. She sent me out. And she was like,
definitely back then.
She said to me, listen, I'm teaching you what's in the book. Like, I don't know anything beyond this. I said, all right, you know what I'm saying? And, she kicked me out. I called my pop, and I told my pop, hey, Dad, she kicked me out because I was asking questions. He was like, oh, yeah, I believe that. He said, okay, all right, well, just, be good, and I'll talk to you and get home. All right, cool, that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But Nat Turner, as far as what he stood up for, now his rebellion didn't last long, and I feel like if a lot of people had that same type of mentality, it don't even necessarily always have to be violent, but but
the initiative to act.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about. If it have to be, we have to be prepared for it, and that's all Nat Turner was. He just didn't have enough people riding with him. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine. Yeah, that's the type of stuff when I try to think of it, it's just like I can't even imagine the type of man this dude was.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, for what they all show us, we only know what they show us.
Yeah.
So it's probably even worse. So it's like for him to do what he did, to have that sense of mind.
Yeah, and you think, and then just for real, you think about how many people was scared, even though
legit scared too, ain't they?
Legit scared.
It's one thing to be cautious. It's another thing we will die.
Yeah, straight up. It was a risk, but listen, people was dying anyway. Y'all was dying every day, every other day anyway. If I'm gonna die, I'd rather die trying to make it easier for the people that's coming behind me. You dig what I'm saying? They always call us the minority, right? But we always outnumbered white people. If we the original people, we've been here longer.
Right.
And you look at plantations, and some plantations had up to 100 slaves, even more. It's an overseer every couple rows. I know they had guns and things like that, but automatic guns wasn't created until 1900.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I understand the fear. I was just, same thing. I understand the fear of it. But if you just, a third of that population just be you know what? I think he got a point. Like, I think, like, if I want my family to be free, I don't want them to grow up like this. Like, I don't want, man, I think.
That's why they're shutting that turn down.
Yeah,
like, if that spreads.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just, look.
They couldn't stop it anyway because look how we are now. But, you know.
Yeah, that's the same reason they killed Nat Turner, the same reason they killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And
Fred Hammond.
The same reason. The same that he was motivating people to be more than what they wanted them to be.
Hoover.
Up, same thing.
Negro unity. Look. I said, yo, this man, I was like, this is something you can look at on Google.
Yo.
Like, I'm like, you can Google this.
Yo, for real.
Like, it's not hard to find.
It's really not. Yo, and you know what's crazy is that's the same reason that Jesus died. Now I know that we're taught that he had like his own prophecy and he was supposed, but listen, like if you read the story yourself with your conscious mind, not what you were taught, like you read the book, right?
Yeah, right.
You read it. Like
the book.
Like you know that Jesus died for your sins. Okay, everybody know, but have you ever read the story? Read the story. The government killed Jesus because he was empowering people the same way that Malcolm and all them people were.
Exactly.
They killed. They said, he gotta go. He performing miracles and saying y'all can. He gotta go. They got him up out of there.
You gotta maintain order.
You gotta maintain order. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. But sometimes when you share stuff like that with certain people, like because they haven't wrapped their minds around it yet, they lose their mind in a sense. So.
Right. Could you tell me about? Let's talk about when the smoke clears, man. Your open mic. Tell us about that. What's that gonna be about?
What can we expect from it? It's first of all, man. It's gonna be a fellowship.
Okay.
Like a fellowship, like around like-minded people, man. We're coming out having a good time. Like I'm going to perform. Amongst there's gonna be a few other people there as well, but I think we, especially in times like this, we really need to come together. I know we always say that, but I mean this.
Gotta keep saying it though.
Yeah, I gotta keep saying like we mean it in the sense like I want to have a good time. Like you want to have a good time when you go out. Like and I want to create a type of platform where people know they're going to have a good time. I don't want it to be a gamble. So look, if I go to Raymar event, I know I'm gonna have a good time, so I'm going. So this is the start of that, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about love and peace and enjoying yourself and opening doors. Like we have vendors, like people who have their own black-owned businesses, they coming out and they're gonna be selling what so it's just a bunch of open doors like for fellowship, for everybody to grow, myself included, you know. So and I'm definitely gonna drop some knowledge. It's gonna, I can't help it. It's gonna be a little, all right, look, I need everybody attention. I just wanna share something with y'all real fast. First of all, I appreciate, so I already see it in my, you know what I'm saying?
I know everybody's had a great time. I see that. I see that.
Exactly, man. Let me get my, and when the smoke clears, I think that's something that we heard a lot in life, and I think every metaphorically speaking, like when the smoke cleared, that means something big just happened, like you know what I'm saying, or like an explosion or something. But sometimes that can represent change. It could be like a drastic change that just happened. So when all this smoke cleared, what are you gonna focus on now that it's cleared? So it's dope. Like I'm really gonna have fun. And the poem I'm doing, that shit gonna be hard. Like I can't wait.
Looking forward to hearing it.
It's gonna be dope, man. I'm really looking forward. Like when I be reciting it at the crib, I just be smiling like,
this just fire.
Yeah, like I can't wait, man.
Really
yeah, and it's touching on something that really matters. So I and I'm gonna have fun with it too. So I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely a great, like my parents is probably, it's dope, man. It's a great thing.
Okay. Mental health. Could you tell me what mental health means to you and how you keep your mental health on the up and up?
Man, everything. It's everything. Cause when you deal with somebody, when you're involved with somebody, you're dealing with their mental more than you're dealing with anything else. So, and it's the same thing with yourself. Like, there's nothing more important than your spiritual maintenance and your mental awareness. And how I keep myself up is like I'm a spiritual person. Like, and I mean that. Like, so looking back on my life, like I always, and that's, I think one of the main things is I'm a very grateful person, right? So I always think about like how one decision could have altered my whole life. You dig what I'm saying? And taking everything like that into consideration, like I had friends like come to my crib, we were supposed to go play basketball, and then this nigga's got in a shootout like right outside my crib. You know what I'm saying? And I was on my way to the crib. Like he called me like, yo, I'm here. I'm like, I'm on my way. Get there. The cop, I'm like, what the heck done happened? You know what I'm saying? So like little stuff like that, I'm grateful for it. Every single day, every little piece of my life that could have went wrong, I see, because I played things out. Like I done played out the end of my life. Now, granted, it might not go that way, but I played it out. So I definitely played out the things that didn't go right before. You know what I'm saying? So the main thing that how I keep myself up is gratefulness. You gotta be grateful for everything. Like I'm not a complainer. I'm not somebody who dwells on anything negative. But it's all about. I call my mom and my dad every other day, probably like a couple times a week. You know what, Dad? I just want you to know that I appreciate you. He's like, yeah, son, I know. I know I told you last week, but I'm gonna tell you again, I appreciate you because you had a lot on your plate. And I know that you lost your mom and you was going through things with the marriage, and it's 12 of us. 12 kids?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yo, that's a lot. Dad, look.
That's actually more than a lot.
Yo.
That's excessive.
Same house. It's growing, like, yo, Dad, look, man, I know it was a lot on your plate. I appreciate you for that. And and then once it got to the point where I can't even start to talk about things like that without tearing up. Like, that's how grateful I am. I tell my daughter, like, Ram, I love you so much. She's like, I know that. You tell me all the time. Like, so I dwell in a state of gratefulness. I dwell in a state of peace, and I dwell in a place of calm, like, where I created. And I'm a person who lives on, like, both ends of the spectrum. Like, I can be the most energetic person you've ever met, but when I'm home, like, who I am by myself, I'm the calmest person ever. Like, if I'm at the crib by myself, like, most of the time I don't even talk. Like, I'm still. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you know how we were just referencing how some people, like, they ask you what you do, like what hobbies do you have, and they always constantly looking for things because their spirit aren't settled. My spirit is settled. I'm still, like, I'm calm, I'm quiet. Like, I stay to myself, I focus on the things that I need to focus on. But it all comes back to gratefulness. You know how when some people overthink, it leads to something negative. Mine's always lead to something else for me to be grateful for. So.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's definitely how I keep myself balanced. Like, always grateful, man. Always grateful. Look, even like this, well, it ain't small, it's kind of big. Like, the apartment that I'm in now, I've been house hunting, but the apartment that I'm in now, I didn't see it until the day I moved in, because the hours that I was working didn't allow me to at the time. But I live by faith. My faith is through the roof. Like, I have no reason to doubt it. You dig what I'm saying? So, I get to the joint. He about to show me the joint. I'm like, damn, I just hope this joint look decent. Like, I just wanted to look halfway decent. He opened the door. I said, whew, goodness gracious. I said, yes, Lord. Thank you, man. I'm grateful. Look, so he's showing me, he said, this the living room, this the kitchen. I don't even make it past the kitchen. I stop at the kitchen and I'm crying. I'm just like, man, I'm so grateful because, you know, I've been in spaces where, my home wasn't always guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just to be in that space, cried. I thought, yo, you ain't even got to show me the rest of the crib. I said, I'm going to have everything else in by the end of the day, man. I appreciate you.
Just grateful.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just appreciative.
Yep.
Gotta be.
Yeah, you absolutely have to be. If you're not appreciative, you take things for granted. I don't take anything for granted. The smallest detail, man, listen, I'm grateful. I'm 100% grateful. So that's definitely how I keep myself in a great realm, in a reality of peace. Like, it comes from gratefulness. Everything does. Gratefulness and love. Like, if you ever run into somebody and y'all talking about me and they say, like, I was hating or they're lying. I guarantee they're lying. They're lying. I have nothing but love for people, man. Even look, if me and you just got into a fight right now, I leave and they're like, yo, how was your interview? I said, oh, it was great. Well, he was dope, man. He was a really good job. I really like what he's doing. I would never disrespect anybody behind their back. I wouldn't even disrespect you to your face. I'll tell you about yourself, but I wouldn't disrespect you to, you know what I mean, to your face. Right. Like, it's always love. I always speak. I understand the power of the tongue, which is why with music and things like that, like, it's all about the message and it's all about speak. I never speak ill. Like, we could just got into a fist fight. My eye black, my tooth missing. Like, yeah, but he good though. He all right.
He cool guy.
Yeah, he cool. He all right. Yeah, he good, man. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about love and gratefulness, man.
Okay. I always tell people, the youth are so important. Everybody's a role model to somebody, people that you see, that you don't see. If you had a message to the youth about just following your dreams and passions, what would that be?
That's a great question. The first thing would be is, first you got to make sure that what your passion is what you want to do for the rest of your life. Like it's simple, but I feel like a lot of people overlook it because you look at like TV and social media and stuff like that, they putting a lot of money in our face and money don't really matter. It does in this reality, like, because like we're part of a monopoly board, you know what I'm saying? So we can't
operate within a system.
Exactly. We can't play the monopoly game without the money. So I understand that money is important in this monopoly, but you can, you can chase money every day and still be sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, make sure that whatever it is that you're passionate about is something that can be put back into you. Money is great. Like, money, it definitely get things done, but how you got $1 million in your hand right now. Like, how can you put that back into you if you're feeling sad? Like, I know you can buy stuff and all that stuff, but just like when it comes back to the first question we said, who are you? Right. So it doesn't matter what you do. You really have to know who you are. So my advice would be, like, look, make sure you get in tune with what you are. Get in tune with who you are. Like, get back to your roots. Like, if you know both of your parents, try to understand who your parents were, because I was speaking at the seminar and I had And you know the term king and queen get tossed around a lot. And it's totally fine, I get it, but you also gotta understand that some people's lineage, they come from bad kings or they come from bad queens. You know what I'm saying? So like we're battling things that we don't even know that we're battling. Like if I start to talk to a female, like it's things that she may be going through that she don't know that she's going through yet. She's battling things that her mom went through, she's battling things that her pop went through, and so on and so forth. She don't even know. So we deal with more than that because you don't truly know who you are. Like you have to get to the root of that. I think once I'm an example. Once you get to the root of that, like you really understand who you are, your purpose is going to naturally flow out anyway. And I'm telling you, once you get to the root to who you are, like everything else is going to naturally flow. So my advice would be like, man, get to know yourself as much as you possibly can. Your weaknesses, understand why they're weaknesses, and try to turn them into strengths. You dig what I'm saying? So that would probably be the first thing that I would touch on before I open the novel and start just laying everything else on it.
Okay. Yeah. And where can all your new fans, where can they look to follow you, to hear your messages?
Yeah, man.
Where can they find you at?
Instagram, Mr. Wescott, just MrWescott. Everything is straightforward with me. It's just my first and last. Facebook, first and last name. Yeah. Even on Instagram, you type in Raymar, it'll pop up like Raymar. YouTube. Well, I haven't uploaded, but I got a whole bunch of, because I've been doing like other interviews and podcasts and stuff like that, talking about like fatherhood and just anything that I can possibly shine light on. Man, I'm all for it. So Raymar Wescott it's not hard. RaymarWescott, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming out to the platform, bro.
Of course, absolutely.
Man. Again, this is Savagetimetv TV. I'm your host, AB Brisley, and today, and again, special guest Raymar Wescott.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it's another one, Savagetimetv TV. We out.
All right.